Thank you so much for joining us tonight on our Power of Six call. My name is Verdita Monk, in case you are brand new to our team and have never been on this call before. But I want you to know the reason we have this call is to provide an avenue for people who are like-minded, who want to win and make suggestions, make recommendations, share amongst each other and all of that. Well, tonight is a very special night, you guys, because as you know, we are in the middle of some big announcements of some things coming up in our company and with our team. And we want to position ourselves to win tonight. So tonight we're going to be, this will be our last, as I said in the text that you saw, this will be our last Power Six call until after the Unstoppable Convention. And the reason for that is because we've got some goals we need to reach and we need to be focused. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to spend a lot of time uh, just talking because we got work to do. And I want to make sure that we stay on point. So tonight, you guys, let's see here. So tonight, I told you in the text, we will be talking about the compensation plan enhancements. So I'm going to break this down as much as I can. It was not a whole lot to remember. They made it so simple that it was just really refreshing to see what they've done. So what's changing, you guys? They have made the manager ranks PV requirements reduced from 110 to 75 points. Basically, that means you only really got to get one sleeve of X39. You don't have to get two sleeves of X39 to qualify to be a manager. Not saying that you shouldn't get two sleeves because you need to anyway. Remember, you need one for yourself, one for your spouse, or one for yourself and one for your people that you're prospecting to that you want to share patches with. Secondly, there was something called the maximum volume rule, meaning if you're trying to hit director or above, well, actually in the previous, more recent plan, in order to be a three-star manager, you even had to have one leg at 1,000 points. And so, but what they've done is eliminated that and reduced the requirements for the other, once you hit director. But let's talk about what they're saying, this 50 to 65%. So to be a director, for example, you need 5,000 points, which meant the maximum that you could count from one leg or your largest leg was 50% of 5,000 is 2,500 points. So now they said, you know what? We're going to be a little bit more lenient. Instead of 2,500 points, you're going to be able to count 3,250. Okay, that's a big difference because sometimes you just don't have as many people that are working hard and you have one leg that's just running. You want to be able to count that. Thirdly, several volume legs and the outside largest leg volume requirements in the three-star manager and director ranks will be reduced. So to give you an example, let me just go ahead and I think it's this next chart that I want to show you that may show what I'm talking about. Remember, to be a one-star director, you had to have two legs at 1,000 points. They reduced that to only one leg with 1,000 points, and they have eliminated this column right here that says outside largest legs. There was volume. You had to have to be a one-star director, there had to be 1,000 points in all your other legs. There had to be 2,000 points for you to be a two-star director in all your other legs outside of these volume legs. And then there had to be 3,000 points in this column for the three-star directors. They changed all of that. So let me go back to the previous slide. So that's what we mean by the largest legs. And then the binary balancing requirement for one-star director is reduced. Okay. That used to be 1,000 points right here. You had to have 1,000 points on each leg to be a director, one-star director. Now you only have to have 500. Okay, now they left the 2- and 3-star directors the way they were, but they did eliminate this column right here. So that simplifies the requirements. All of these people here from active brand partner all the way to 3-star manager, they do not have to have 110 points. This is now 75. Okay, it used to be 110 points prior to these enhancements. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some leeway. I mean, this is huge. You had to have two people at 1,000 here, two legs that at 2,000 points, and then two legs at 3,000 points. You can take one person. I want you to understand what this means. You could take one person who just hit one-star director, help them get to two-star director. That same person, help them, get to two-star director, and you can count. That means you can count one leg at 2,000. Help that same person get to three-star director. So it's easy. You don't have to just skip all over and have all these different people hitting those volume legs. Okay, so now I want to get into right now some announcements and some promos that they have. We've had seen this business launch bonus, and we had that previously. They brought it back up again. So now from June the 8th all the way, that was Monday of this week, all the way to July 12th and 13th, they're going to bring that back. You're going to double the business launch bonus. You know what that means? That means that if the person hits one-star manager, it used to be that they got $25, but now they're going to get $50. And then you being the sponsor of that person, as long as you're at least a one-star manager, you're going to match them by $25. And the same thing with a two-star manager. Instead of them getting $50, that means they've got 1,500 points. That's all it means. They're going to get $100 every week, you guys. Every week. That's 9 weeks. In the business, in this here thing, that we're talking about. And then, but the people need to qualify to be these ranks. They have from May the 25th all the way to, well, no, they've changed it now. Yeah, all the way to, it used to be, it was May the 25th to June 7th, 8th. But what the company is saying is they're going to include those people who did qualify for this bonus way back to May 25th. So look in your back office and see if you qualified as a brand new one-star or two-star manager, they're going to let you participate in this promotion as well. But this is going to extend through July 12th and 13th. So that's huge. Okay. Now, this is something else. I bet a lot of people miss this. But this was an email that came out from corporate. This one is huge, y'all. Earn your VIP conference experience. So they're going to give you a $500 travel credit if you do and I'll show you what you got to qualify to get this. There's going to be an exclusive reception that they're going to have for those people that achieve this. There's going to be a Twilight Disneyland resort experience. They're going to take everybody, because we're right there at Disneyland. I don't know what this resort experience is going to be. Private breakout with David Schmidt, okay? Reserved conference seating, and then special recognition throughout the event. But what this incentive does, it allows you to reach those ranks. So watch this. This starts June 8th, which is Monday, all the way through August 16th. So now watch this. 500 points. Now, there's going to be 500 points that's going to be required for this, and it's an experience for two people. But they're only going to give you one $500 reward. But it does help allow two people to participate in those activities. Now, so there's 3 ways to earn points. Now, if you sign up a retail customer, preferred customer plus with a purchase of at least $99.95, that's going to get you 10 points. Do you understand how significant that is? We just qualified for the Hawaii trip. Do you know how many points we got for customers? 1 point. They're giving you 10 points for a customer. Then if you sign up a core, I want to compare back to the Hawaii trip. We only got 2 points when we sign up a core. We got 4 points if we sign up in advance. So you see how significant this is to get 15, 20, 30, and 50 points for all of these packages that you enroll. Now, I did call corporate, and I think this is accurate. A person who upgrades from core to advanced, you're not going to get another, 5 points or 20 points. Like the difference between 15 and 20 when we were doing the incentive trips, whatever the difference in those points, we got it. No, they have to come in at advance straight out to get this 20. So I don't, and if they're core, you get 15, but that's still huge. Okay. Also, if somebody that's personally enrolled to you hits one-star manager, you guys, that's only 750 points. You get 35 points for helping that person get to one-star manager. The two-star manager is 1,500 points. You get 55 points for helping someone get to 2-star manager. If they get to 3-star manager, it's 2,500 points. You get 70 points for that. And then if they get to director, that's 90 points. That is awesome. Okay. So there is no excuse. Now, let me back up 1 minute. I wrote this down somewhere because I just wanted you to see how significant this is. I went back and looked at how many, like what Harvey and I did to get to that Hawaii trip. Okay. Now, the points that you're getting on all this stuff, only, like, for example, person enrolled, that only applies up to 1-star director. We also got points for somebody hitting 2-star director, 1-star, different things like that. But it based on these ranks right here, I went back and counted and how many customers we had. If we had applied the points we got from the trip, which we only had to have like 100 and something, do you know we would have had 690 points? And we only started after we came back from Vegas in January. We only worked on this 5 weeks. I think it was about 4 or 5 weeks. We accumulated enough points. If it had been today with these points, we would have gotten 690 points. So do you see, to me, how easy it is to get these 500 points? That's all you have to do. So now these refinements, what they've done now, these refinements are designed to remove unnecessary complexity while preserving the core structure and intent of the compensation plan. So for many brand partners, this means a more attainable path from manager to director. I know you like to hear that. Great flexibility as your organization grows, faster progress through manager and director levels, increased opportunities for more brand partners to experience early success, more opportunities to earn mentor matching bonuses. Because see, people, like I'm going to introduce some people a little bit later. For example, they just hit director, and they had the points for director a long time ago, like 2 months ago. But it wasn't until this one person that we helped. We had, director got to have 2 legs at 1,000 points. They only had 1. And we helped a person get to 1-star, get not to 1-star manager, but to 1,000 points. And that allowed them to get to director. But when you get to director, then you start taking advantage of the mentorship matching bonuses. So there's more money. This is why you want to rank up, because there's more ways than you make money. So simpler qualification requirements to track and duplicate with your team. Now, so what I want to propose, and this is something that, this is a personal decision that I came up with, and I've identified some people who are agreeing with this. But we've only got 60 days. If you count Monday, June the 8th, all the way to August the 6th, when right the day before our convention starts, there are 60 days. And so here's what I want to implement a 60-day blitz, you guys. And I want you to understand, first of all, a blitz simply means you're really zoned in and focused on your goals. It's like just focus, okay? Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted something so bad, whether it's whether it's to go on a trip, or whether it's a person that you like, and when you were back in high school, you liked somebody, you wanted them so bad, whatever. You focus on that person, and that energy, that excitement is what I mean when I say focus on your goals every day. Action. You got to pique interest every day. Just make a conversation of some sort. I was at Home Depot today, and I still have on what I was wearing earlier, because I was working on a construction project. And when I was, this guy, I tell you, in Home Depot, men try to flirt with you a lot. So, and this man said to me, he says, "You look like you've been to Greece." And I said to myself, how does he know I've been to Greece? And so I said, I tell you what, you are so right. I have been to Greece. So I started a conversation, right? But the way I turned it around was say, but guess what? I won that trip. I explained how I won the trip. And I said, I'm glad you asked, because I want to tell you about something you need to know about. I didn't even care whether he wanted to hear or not. I just started talking about the patch. I started giving tests, and he was looking dead in my eyes the whole time, not trying to be flirtatious. He was listening because he was intrigued in what I said. That conversation, it was another a salesperson that was standing by, because the person who said that was not even a salesperson, but the salesperson was zoned in on what I was saying as well. Those two people both were intrigued enough to want some information. I did give them a couple of patches. I gave them a postcard. I gave them my business card. I took their number and sent them the recording that I did last night. I did a lot of stuff. Seemed like it was about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes. I don't know, because I was talking pretty fast. And then do you know what the guy said to me after I finished doing all that? He said, "You want to know how I know you went to Greece?" And I said, "How?" He said, "Because look at your t-shirt." See, my t-shirt says Santorini. I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even catch on. But I'm just saying to you, peak interest every time you make it fun, but be consistent. Wait. Oh, I missed something on my PowerPoint. That's supposed to say three-way calls, y'all. Three-way calls, utilize recorded and live Zoom calls. Now, I want you to understand, three-way calls, sometimes, we have got to stop waiting. People say, when is the next Zoom call? Well, whenever you want it to happen. And I highly suggest for this 60-day blitz, immediately pick the phone up with somebody that's your accountability partner. Do a three-way, because that energy, utilize recorded calls. If you have a person that you talk to and they want to know more and send them a recorded call. Find you one that you like, and I have one that I'd be glad to share with whoever wants it. The one I did last night, I think, was a pretty good call. And then make sure they're ready to follow up the very next morning. Don't be waiting a whole 3-4 days. No, if they're interested, can I reach back out to you tomorrow morning or tomorrow by noon? Because I want to, really, in other words, if they agree to this, that lets you know you're serious. Don't dismiss the live Zoom calls. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying do not wait. Do not wait, you guys. I'm trying to show you how to blitz, how to create momentum, and how to be excited. Results, what's going to happen? Your volume is going to increase. Your business partners are going to advance, and you're going to be recognized and unstoppable because of the results of what you've achieved during this blitz. And so I also want to remind you, I'm trying to tell you some things that we talked about to help you get to these goals. Do you remember when we talked about, when we always talk about the Power Six, and to help your new people go ahead and do 3 launch calls, so that hopefully out of those 3 launch calls, they'll get 10 customers. You don't have to wait till a launch call. It could be, just like I said, a 3-way, whatever. If you had 6 partners that got 2 sleeves themselves and they all got 10 customers, that makes you a director, you guys. Do you see these numbers right here? That makes you a director. That don't even include the 1,000 points you probably have yourself for your customers. But this is director. This is simple. All you got to have is 6 people who are focused. And that 5,500 points don't have to be all customers. Some of them could be brand partners. And guess what? If they duplicate, then now you're a director, 1-star director. A lot of you are past director. This 1-star executive, when you add the volume here on your second level and the volume in your first level plus your volume, this is like 39, almost 39,000 right now. You add what your personal volume to that, we talking about 1-star executive. And so it's a done deal, you guys, when you focus. And that's the reason I mentioned what Harvey and I were able to accomplish in 4, I think I really need to get the numbers down, but 4 or 5 weeks qualifying for the Hawaii trip, because we were focused, zone. It's all about, do you want it, right? Okay, so here's what you're going to have to do. And I'm just telling you, because I know I've already started doing, you're going to have to identify people within your organization who want to run with you. And then celebrate your successes along the way. Let me see what else I got here before I stop here. Okay, so I know I got more slides than this. Okay, so consistency is the key. And let me tell you what's real important. See, what happens sometimes when a person hits a rank or hits a certain volume, they think, okay, I'm there. No, you're not there, because the points do not, there are people in your organization who may have came on as a customer, and then the next week they fall off. They don't want to be a customer no more. Or people who came in as a core, that's 180 points, and then 4 weeks go by, and if they're not on auto ship, that 180 points does not exist in your back office anymore, you guys. So you got to replace your volume from week to week. You got to be serious. You got to be focused. You got to start looking at your back office when you wait every morning. I would look at my back almost every morning. Well, I should say almost every morning. I look at my back office when I wake up, but especially at the beginning of the week, I'm seeing where do I stand? Not just where I stand, where do my team members, where do people stand with their ranks? Who am I going to help get back to where they were or help them get to the next level? At the end of the week, I'm sick. I mean, I'm not waiting till the very last night either. Who's about to lose their points? Who's about to lose their rank? These are the kinds of things from an administrative point, I mean, standpoint, I do, but this replacing the volume, y'all know that's important. Okay. I know y'all know what I'm talking about because y'all been on these calls. So let's talk about this real quick. I already talked about this. I said regarding the VIP conference experience, I went back and calculated the points that we had. It would have been 690. That lets you know you would have qualified for this VIP conference experience, just a few people we signed up. So let me see what else I got. Okay, now I'm not gonna do this right now, but this is something I want to read to you real quick because this is important, and then I want to open this up for questions. And I know some of you want to get on this game, so that's why I'm trying to talk pretty fast. I'm reading from a book, I've talked to you about this before, called Maximize the Moment by T.D. Jakes. This is a powerful book, and I want to read something to you because I think it's very appropriate. I have to put on my magnifying glass because I can't see it. But there's a section in this book where he talks about, I'm going to read it. Okay, it says, although it's not an easy decision to make, there are certain, wait a minute. I don't want that one. I don't want to read that. Wait a minute, it's a page before that, I think. I'm sorry. Okay, wait a minute. I thought I had the right page. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Although it's not an easy decision to make, I'm gonna have to see if I can read this without this magnifying. There are usually some signals you will notice that forecast the need to choose the direction of your associations. We're talking about a 60-day Blitz. We're talking about focusing on who wants it. Okay, so listen very carefully. While it is impossible to survive without partnerships, it is also impossible to partner with people who do not share the same intensity and the same objectives. Notice that both are needed. Intensity focuses on how badly we want it, while objectives focus on the specificity of what we want. These two ingredients are as essential to winning partnerships as chocolate chips and cookie dough are to one of my favorite treats. Without the intensity of that burst of chocolate, when you bite into the warm home-baked cookie, the taste is disappointingly bland. And without the cookie part to anchor the chocolate chips, the experience is too sweet and rich. It takes both parts to produce the desired balanced results. Then I'm going to skip on down because it says, first, the lack of intensity is frustrating. When a very focused, intense person is tied to someone who is less driven and more complacent. Do you have people on your team that you want them to do better and do more, and it just don't seem like they have the desire? Who are less driven and more complacent. It's like trying to dance the Macarena with someone who wants to waltz. You can imagine that. Listen, you have one tempo for life while your partner has another. When tempos are not compatible, your energies are divided because you spend all of your much needed effort trying to motivate the partner to follow your lead and pick up the pace. You will lose accomplishment eventually because you're wasting time expecting them to do something that they are not. So he goes on to talk about his personal experience. He says, but he was talking about how he used to try to encourage people. He says, but I was so busy encouraging them and being polite that I disagreed with their assessments and confessions and failed to realize that they knew themselves better than I did. And he goes on down to say, please learn the priceless art of listening to people without interrupting them. It will save you years of tears and secret disappointments. And he says something about your persuasive style to coerce others into accepting your goals and objectives, but they cannot run off of your fuel, nor can they become something just because you believe they can. you guys, listen, this is not, I'm not trying to say anything to offend anybody, but you have got to be selective in how you spend your time in order to reach your goals because I'm telling you, I've done this several times where I'm trying to reach a certain goal, and it always feels like you've got just a barely enough time to reach that goal. And so we don't really, if you, it depends on how much you want. It may not matter to you. It matters to me to win. It matters to me that my team members win. And so we've established this goal a long time, said we want to see a lot of people on our team walking across the stage at the convention. But what I want to do right now, because before I open it up for questions, I want to identify a couple of people, one couple, Santa and James and Santa Thompson, who are our newest one-star directors. And I'm sure there are some other people as well. So this is not an exhausted list. I don't know who else just hit, but I just know what I just helped someone accomplish this past weekend. Linnell Barnes, who's a new one-star manager with 1,000 points. So I'm going to ask, let me do this because I want to, I have something I wanted Linnell to share with you. Okay. He doesn't even know what I'm going to ask him. Is he on here? Oh, Lord. Let's see. I don't know if I see. He said he was going to be on, but I don't see Linnell. Linnell, you may have yourself on an iPhone and I can't find you, but I tell you what, I'll call on James Thompson. Y'all do that every time. Bring up 2 phone numbers on this thing. Let me make you a co-host. So I don't know if I'm getting James or Santa. Okay, let me see if I can find Linnell. James, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Vidita.
Okay, let me do this. Can you do me a favor and share your screen? And I'm gonna see if I can find Linnell's number. See if I can find him on. He must be on a cell phone, but he definitely wanted to be on the 301. Okay, so James, congratulations for being one-star. I knew it was one-star director. You and Santa. I think you all on different computers or something, right?
Yeah, and she's we getting a late dinner in, so we
Okay. Okay.
she's getting that ready and
No problem.
yeah.
Okay, but I wish Linnell was on here because I want to share an experience with everybody. I want y'all to see what I mean when I talk about celebrating, being focused. Now, last Friday, I reached out to Linnell, I reached out to you and Santa, and we say we got to get y'all to one-star director this weekend. No, we're not gonna wait no more because you were in the same situation 2 or 3 weeks in a row. And we talked about Linnell. He was at about 530 points or something like that, something similar. So Friday night was when this all started. It all started Friday night, and his first 200 points came in. Okay, now all this time prior to this, Linnell was working it, but I'm telling you, something lit up in him. The fire lit up in him, and he just every single thing we suggested he do, he did it. So do you remember Friday night? I said, okay, Linnell got 200 points. And I was communicating with you, was I not? We were every time he did something, you knew about it, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And
I
then
did.
I think it was Saturday. Then he got another 180 points. And once again, so we knew we was only like 81 points or something like that away from him getting to 1,000. Because remember, one-star director, you guys, is 2 legs at 1,000. They've had a one leg at 1,000 for a long time, but they still could not get that person. And Linnell did it Sunday, probably about 9 o'clock Sunday night. But we were determined. He was determined. You all were determined. We were all together. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? This is was about a 48-hour thing that he got 500 points, almost 500 points. So if a person can get 500 points in a matter of 48 hours, can you imagine what you can do when you're focused and you got several weeks? The difference here, and I'm telling you, because we were all encouraging Linnell, we've been encouraging other people, but the difference is that we said, we're going to make this happen for you, Linnell. This is going to happen. He agreed. It's something came over him. That's all I can say. But I want you to share if you have something that you would like to say about this experience and what it's meant to you.
Well, what it does to me, it emphasizes the three-way calls, and you have been magnificent about what you said you were going to do, and you were there to work with us and to do the three-way calls. As a matter of fact, you were communicating with Linnell, and I didn't even know you had been. And when we found out, we knew it was going to happen. It was just timing. And you said we were going to have it done by before midnight on Sunday, and you got it done. So it's really, really important. And, we've been in the business now, this month makes 3 years. And
Congratulations.
we're in it to win it, and we're just going to never give up. And we're learning more and more and more every single time we participate in these calls, every time we speak with you and Robin. So I thank you so much for helping us
Absolutely.
make this happen.
Well, I want you to know this too, for everybody who may not know, Santa and James, uh, first of all, they had enrolled well over 100 people. So it's not for a lack of effort that they have not reached that goal. But also, they're very, very knowledgeable about the patches. Santa is a retired pharmacist. They've got both of them have some powerful testimonies. But I will say this, and see, this is why sometimes you have to work as a team. I know how aggressive I am. And I think that element right there helped a little bit because you'll say I don't want to push nobody. I'm not going to, if they don't want, I'm not going to push. I heard you say that before. And I say, you know what? Sometimes people don't know what they got. Sometimes you just have to push a little bit. I already knew you wanted it. I knew you wanted to win, but you just needed that little push. So I wanted to insert that aspect, that element into the equation. And sometimes you never know what it is that people need. That's why you need three-way calls. It could be somebody that's more knowledgeable, or maybe their personality coincides with the person you're talking to on the phone. We got all these different personalities, but this is why that, as you said, that's the key word you said, three-way call.
Three-way calls, yes.
And see, you and Linnell were professional ball players. You know what it feels like to win. And he's around, a lot of people that like to win. So yeah, all of that meant I sure wish we had Linnell on the call, but he's calling from some other kind of phone or something, so I can't find him. But thank you so much for sharing your comments, and congratulations. And let's keep it going.
Oh, we are. Thank you so much, Ms.
Tell Santa congratulations too.
I
All
will.
right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So now, you guys, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna open this up. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to open this up uh, to allow anyone who has any questions. Because I mean, I've gone some details. I talk pretty fast. I know y'all want to get on that game. But if anybody has any questions, now's the time. Looks like Juanita Kraft has raised her hand. I made everybody a co-host, Juanita, so you can unmute yourself.
Great. Looking in the back office, I'm not seeing any volume, and a couple of the people said the same thing.
Have you called into corporate yet?
No, no.
Yeah, because one person called it. I noticed it. I thought it was just that one person. And so then the next thing you know, I looked in my back office and I didn't see any volume there either. So I just went on and called corporate, and they are working on the reports, just like they said in the emails. They didn't say that we weren't seeing any volume. They just said that what we saw in the back office was not going to help us, analyze where we are right now. But I asked them today, I said, well, when are the new reports going to, when is it going to come out? So I don't really know if that VSO, whatever that is going to come back. I really don't. I mean, not anytime soon, but definitely within the next couple of weeks. But I can't even answer that question. I'll be honest with you. But I think Steve Merritt and them will be back from Italy sometime this week, and maybe somebody can answer the question. So I'm sorry, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, yes, the question is now that, they're allowing you to do 65% of your largest leg, some people are probably hitting ranks and they won't have any way of knowing it.
Well, they'll know it because the company will on their enrollment, it'll say what your current rank is. But all you have to do, what your strongest leg is. Look at your total downline volume. Go to commissions volumes and look in that column that says total downline volume. Look at yours. Then you can see if you go to your enroller tree and click on the leg, like I think in your case is Larice Rivers. You click on her and look at her commissions report and then her volume. It'll tell you what her volume is. And then, if it's, what 60, what that 65%, that's the only suggestion I have because I don't know what else to do at this point. But it's still where even though, well, I know what you're saying. They said that the back office is not going to reflect the new ranks. So I don't know. I just hate that we're going through that, but
Okay, no problem.
But it'll catch up with us though.
Oh,
Anybody
one more question. So there are no points for your personal advancement?
You mean as far as that
The VIP.
the thing for the conference? No, just people. If you enroll somebody, if you enroll, packages, or if you enroll customers, and then if you help somebody that you personally enroll get to the next rank. But it's quite a bit of points. I think they want us to focus on helping people, on our team.
Helping others. Okay. All right. That's it.
Yeah. It came out on the weekly update this week. And so you have to go, when they say learn more, you have to open it up. You see qualifying ranks to sell, okay, new. And then when people get, okay, in customers, you got those 3 ways: customers, packages, and advancements.
Okay.
That's it. I think they're very generous. I mean, if a person becomes a 3-star manager, that's 70 points. And like Santa and James just hit 1-star director. Had that happened this week, their sponsor, Robin, would have got 90 points for that.
Do they go backwards? Are they going back to the 25th of May?
No, not on this one. The only thing they're going to go back on is the business launch bonus.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
Okay, that's great questions. Anybody else got any questions? Who's that?
Hi, Verdita.
Is that Linnell?
I wasn't able to unmute until you just unmuted that young lady there. It said you had to unmute
That's
me.
because you don't. Let me see how you showing up on the thing. You probably don't have. You probably on an iPhone. I mean, you probably have your phone number.
I am.
Okay, well, congratulations, Linnell. And I just want you to confirm what I said. We were talking. Seemed like 2 or 3 times a day. We were texting each other and stuff.
Exactly. But without you and Santa and James and the team, it wouldn't have happened. We were just determined to do it before 11:59 Sunday. And I really appreciate all the help. And like Snatches James said, the 3-way call is the key. And you convinced me of that. So moving forward.
Did you feel like empowered, like all this?
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, I don't have too many times when one person is texting me all weekend long. I mean, you had to have felt empowered.
Yes, most definitely. I was ready to make it happen. It was so close, and without your help and the team, it wouldn't have happened. So I really appreciate that. I really do.
And listen, you guys, he is still texting me saying, still got to get back with this person. We still, he's still texting me. Can you see what I'm trying to explain? It's fun. It becomes fun when you're working together and trying to achieve a goal. So congratulations again. And we're not going to stop there.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, I said that, was it Nisha? Nisha, did you raise your hand? Nisha Hilliard.
Yes. Hi, Verdita.
Hi, lady.
Hey, I wanted to answer the question. I believe they said regarding when we're going to see the updates in our back office. I thought they said on was it Saturday that we're going to see it on Thursday. So
I thought they said Thursday, but when I called in today, they said it could be up to a couple of weeks.
Oh, so they changed. Okay, because I
don't
remember
know
them saying
for sure. They don't even know for sure. But you know how they were doing it, even with the incentive trips. Well, I know we was wanting the report to show up in the back office. It never did show up.
Gotcha.
I know this is going to show up, but I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. It'd be nice if it would, but Thanks
Oh,
for
oh,
offering.
okay, yeah, that's what I heard. But like you said, you called them today, so they said something different. So I guess we'll wait and see.
But that would be really fun to
Yes.
be able to go to a special whatever with David Schmidt and all these activities they have for the people that and give you $500 too.
Yep, that's lovely.
Y'all better go for it. And then this is going to rank you up. Do you see how all this together is going to help you rank up?
Yes, I totally agree. And thank y'all so much for really emphasizing the three-way calls, because those I
Mhm.
know they're very effective. And so,
Mhm.
it's just people, we just got to all implement it and make it happen, because I
Yes.
do agree the three-way calls do make it all the more.
Yeah,
And it's
you're
good to
right.
hear from someone besides yourself, because, what I mean, it's just people don't really they see through you, they don't see you. And so you have
Mhm.
someone else on there validating, and you're edifying that person. It
Yeah,
should be all the more, make it all the more effective. So
absolutely. It's something else. So
yeah,
thank you so much. I
thank
see
you.
Mary Cofield. Hello, Miss Cofield, Miss Superstar. Here you're doing a lot of great things.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. You can share your
Good.
video if you like.
Thank you. I've got a question about the first, one-star director. So you're still required to have 6 legs or
No,
six,
no, 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 no,
no?
no. That's just something that I demonstrate, to say if you did, like I was talking about accumulating customers and how if you had 6 people, they got 10 customers and they had 2 sleeves apiece, that would make you a one-star director. If you're focused on this here Blitz that I'm highly recommending that every day you use some type of recording and get that person to listen to that recording right away. And if you had 6 people, they are probably going to be accumulating customers along the way. That's just a power six. That's not the company you have. I think you can have just like one leg or something to be a one-star director now because no, you can't count any more than 65% of that person's volume. So 65% of 5,000 is 3,250. So you definitely have to have at least 2 legs to get to director. So I'm sorry if I confused you on that.
No, so at some point I thought it had to be 3 on the right and 3 on the left. So to
No,
be
no, no
so to
more.
be a director, you could have as low as
Two
2
legs.
legs.
That's right,
Do
ma'am.
they have to be right and left?
Well, yes, there has to be at least 500 points on each side of the binary.
Okay.
If you look at that success pathway, let me pull it up for you. And it's not in the back office yet, but it is in the email that came from corporate. And I know that I sent it out to my leaders and hopefully it got to everybody. But this chart right here is called Success Pathway. See, to be a one-star director, you have one leg at 1,000, and you don't have to worry about how much volume. There's no requirement for those outside leg, but you do have to have 500 points on each side of the binary.
Well, but how many brand partners do you need to be a one-star director?
Doesn't say. It doesn't tell you. There's no structure to it. Just this is why I'm saying it's so much easier now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no structure required.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank
Let
you.
me give you a little bit of a history real quick. The reason they changed the comp plan back in October, because there were people, see what I just told you, 2 people? There were people making millions of dollars a year. They just came in the company early and they were just riding off of other people's volume. And so
Mhm.
the company changed the comp plan to say, okay, no, we ain't gonna keep paying you this kind of money. You're gonna have to go work for it. That's the concept. But it really hurt a lot of other people in the process. So now they're trying to say we want to take out the complex, make it less complex. You already know when you used to look in your back office, it was so hard to figure out what do I need to do to get to this rank? They simplified it, y'all. So I'm excited about that. And I look forward to you hitting one-star director any day, Miss Cofield.
My other question is if you could give us the number for that recorded call that you like? I
will,
would really
the
appreciate
number,
it.
okay, I think I sent that to Wendell. I think I sent that to Wendell today.
Okay.
I'll send, if anybody's interested in a call I did last night, because I inserted that thing about, Microsoft, this is a Microsoft moment, and all that, and Apple, would so let me see if I sent it to Wendell.
Yeah, I think you did send it to me.
Okay, share
Yeah.
that with her, please, and I'll send it throughout the whole team, because we have people on this call that are doing their own calls. Monique Dotson, she does presentations. Juanita
Right.
does presentations. I know you and Renee or Lynn are doing your own There's so many that are already doing it. Derek Hawkins, all of you are doing, Jules Strother. A lot of people are doing their own presentation, so you can use whatever one you want, okay?
All right. Thank you.
But
It's on the way. It's on the way, Mary.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else have something they would like to contribute before we end this call?
Verdita, this is Candy King, Gloria
Hello,
Spiegler.
Miss Candy Kane.
How are you? You're looking gorgeous as usual.
Oh, thank you.
I have two questions. What you just said to Wendell, could you please send it to me? And
Okay,
what
okay.
difference?
I'll send
Go
it to
ahead.
Derek. Derek is throughout the whole team,
Oh, okay.
because he put doesn't Derek put everything in that
In the
in that
WhatsApp.
group? Okay,
Yeah, in the
I'll send
WhatsApp
it
chat.
that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
I
send
think
because
I haven't been really following it, everything, and I don't get in my back office like a good little girl should. But I only have one line, one person that's really going to town with these, and it's Miss Gloria, Dr. Gloria. Now she's ahead of me. So what's the difference between that? But I've noticed I've been getting paid.
you still count her volume. That volume rolls up to you. But if you're trying to get to director, you do need another leg, because
Right.
you do have to have 500 points on your left and on your right of the binary.
Okay.
But just if you can count 1,000 from her leg, and you can still get to 5,000 with all the other volume together, you're there. But we can look, Derek can look detailed into your into your
Okay.
back office and tell
Okay.
you what you need to do.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Need it. Good training. Good training.
But thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
No
Okay.
questions here, just comment, Verdita.
Hey,
Wonderful
Noel.
call, as always, the way you laid this out simply, it's absolutely excited. My honey love and I, we're fired up, pumped up to run to unstoppable. The new technology, the trinity of trinities with the X39, the Cellar Jazz, and the water machine. And then, we've got the enhancements to the comp plan that simplified everything, added money to the front end. So everybody getting started now can literally laugh their way to the bank as they're laughing at
Laugh their
all
way
the
to the bank.
miracle testimonies that they're getting. And then we have the promotion to the conference. That's incredible, where we can lock in and get treated like some VIPs and have some more memories made as we're moving up through the ranks, which now it's easier. So, like, it is literally like a fresh start, a new company. We got new technologies, new money. So let's just run and have fun.
Let's have fun, y'all. All right. Thank you for inserting that information, sharing those comments, Noel. I see you rocking your baby. All right. Listen, you guys, anybody else have any questions or comments before we end the call?
Hey, Verdita.
Hey, Michelle.
This is Nisha again.
Nisha.
Hi, I went on into my back office and there's some updates there just so people can go now.
Recently?
Yes.
With the numbers?
Yes.
Okay, because I checked about a couple hours ago if I didn't see it, but thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, I just saw it
Perfect
updated
timing.
in my back office. So
Perfect timing. We needed that.
Okay.
All right. Anything else before we end the call, you guys? Okay. All right. Listen, you all have a wonderful, weekend. Let's go. Let's get back to your sponsors. Whoever you are going to be accountable to, form your little group, be accountable to each other, celebrate your successes, provide that energy, and let's make it happen. That's all I got to say. Okay. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Everyone be blessed and highly favored.